And finally this evening, the Battle of Britain plane back in the skies after almost 80 years. Shot down in 1940, it's taken 30,000 hours of work to rebuild her in Suffolk. She'll now be kept at the Imperial War Museum in Duxford, as Tanya Mercer reports.
Hurricane fighter planes of 111F Squadron are dressed in line waiting for the signal to take off.
They were called the workhorse of the Battle of Britain. Many argue without the Hurricane, the Allies would have lost the War of the Skies and ultimately the whole of the Second World War. These planes shot down more than 60% of German aircraft. But their lifespan was short. Many were destroyed within days. Today, there are just 14 flying in the world. But now this Hurricane Mark I is preparing to take to the skies once more for the first time in almost 80 years.
It is emotional, and it brings back all the things you've learnt about the aircraft, of the history and of the efforts that the engineers have put into it to reconstruct it. It is a true tribute to those who served the country in probably the most important part of its history.
Kirk is a consultant neurosurgeon at Addenbrooke's. He's always loved flying and is currently training so that very soon he will be able to swap his scrubs for a flight suit and fly this beautiful plane. John has been flying for almost 40 years. His passion for this aircraft is in the blood. His father, Lawrence, served with the RAF and flew Hurricanes during the war. Now his son is preparing to fly the plane in which his father fought so bravely.
I'm a professional engineer, I'm a mechanical engineer, so I look at the work they've done on this and rule. It is absolutely fabulous, and so yes, I just hope that I'll pass muster and get to fly it.
And what do you think your father would have made of it all?
I don't know. He's probably sitting there strumming his harp on a cloud and thinking, absolutely great, well done you.
This Hurricane survived just 5 days fighting at the height of the Battle of Britain before being shot down over Kent in September 1940. The pilot survived, but the plane remained buried for 4 decades before being dug up in the 1980s. It's taken 10 years and 30,000 hours of work to restore her, involving around 1 million individual parts. And it's all been done by specialists at Hawker Restorations based in Suffolk.
It is a labour of love, but really being able to actually see it fly again, when it flies again for the first time, that is the moment where it was all worth it.
And finally, after so much time, the test flights for V7497 begin. Pilot Stuart Goldspink, who's now flown 11 of the 15 operational Hurricanes, at the controls.
We were above the clouds and the air was perfectly still, and I had a bit of time to relax and just think about what a nice airplane it is.
The plane will now be based at the Imperial War Museum at Duxford, where she can be seen by the public. She is a labour of love and a symbol of a group's passion for flying and history. But more than that, she's a tribute to the bravery of those who designed and flew these remarkable machines, the immensity of what they achieved, and a legacy for the next generation. Tanya Mercer, ITV News, Elmsett in Suffolk.
Spectacular sight there. Right, let's